So in this week's video, we're going to show you the north side of Kalispell. We did one on the south side as well, so look that one up if you're interested in that side of town. But right now, Kalispell the population's just under 30,000, and the north side of town has really taken off in the last few years. All these commercial buildings behind me are brand new, and you have the Glacier High School, which was built probably in the last 10 to 12 years. We have the bypass over here to my right. Kalispell's the hub of this valley, so all the shopping, all the big box stores, the Costco's, the Home Depots, they're all located up here. There's also a bunch of subdivisions that have really filled in off a 3-mile drive, off a reserve drive over here. It's kind of where everybody's been moving in Kalispell, so let's go take a tour. So I mentioned the bypass on the intro, and this is the Kalispell bypass. We are headed north, and it's a bypass of the whole town of Kalispell. It's a continuation of Highway 93. You access it down on the south end of Kalispell, like before you really get into town, and it takes you out to the west side and all the way around, and it's totally changed the way people get around Kalispell, and it's added to all the growth out here on this side of Kalispell and on the north side of Kalispell. But this was completed in 2016, and just a great addition to town, because you used to have to go right through the middle of downtown Kalispell, and you were going through downtown with all of the semis and trucks, and everything was funneled right through the middle of Kalispell, and it took forever with all the stoplights and the traffic. And so, as you can see, speeds things up quite a bit, and it's never, tons of traffic out here, so you can make good time, and it's just vastly improved the town of Kalispell. So Kalispell is kind of the hub of the Flathead Valley and basically the hub of northwest Montana. Unless you go 130 miles south to Missoula, there isn't a bigger town up on this side of the state. And so we have all of the box stores up here, and they're all located up here on the north end of Kalispell. We have the Costco's, the Home Depots, the Lowe's, everything you can imagine. Cabela's has gone in, and this is all, again, tied in with the bypass and tied in with the growth of Kalispell. This area continues to grow, and it's kind of funny. When I first moved to the valley, they were trying to get the old mall moved up to the opposite corner from where all of this is, and people were freaking out, and they didn't want any growth out there. It was farmland, and in the meantime, all of this went in right across the street. So kind of funny to look back at what happened with all of that and people trying to prevent the little mall. It ended up being 10 times the amount of box stores that went in instead of the mall. As far as healthcare in Kalispell, we have the Logan Health Center up here, and it's the regional hospital, so it covers the entire northwest Montana. They also own the hospital up in Whitefish, so they're all tied together. But this is a good hospital. They have a big cardiac unit. They have a new big children's hospital that they've added on to. And around the backside, they have the base for the alert helicopter, or the life flight they call it. And because we're so rural up here and there's so much open land and the park, and all the way to Libby, there's nothing. And so that life flight goes out quite a bit for car accidents and emergencies that are way out. And then there's a helipad right here that they fly them right into the hospital. And so it is definitely a good hospital. And it owns the one up in Whitefish, like I said, so the doctors can go back and forth, and you can get all the care you need right here in the valley. And another highlight up here on the north side of Kalispell is the Flathead Valley Community College, and this has also grown quite a bit in the last 10 years or so. Right now there's about 3,100 students that go here, and they also have a satellite campus over in Libby that serves Lincoln County, and they've just totally remodeled the Wacholtz Center. It's a performing arts center, and it's really nice now. And they just added a dormitory for students to live on campus a couple years ago. And I guess the nursing program here is really good as well. So it's a good little college, and if you want to get a head start before you go to a 4-year college, this is a great place to do it. And as far as regular schools go, part of the reason the north side of Kalispell has grown so much is because of the popularity of this elementary school, Edgerton, and the new Glacier High School that I'll show you in a minute. Flathead High School, that was the original high school in Kalispell, was the largest high school in the entire state. So they definitely needed another high school to take care of all the students, because Kalispell spreads out from the east side of the valley all the way to the west side of the valley. So there's a ton of students that were going to Flathead High. So this was a very good addition, and this was opened in 2007, and everybody I've talked to that sent their kids here have had nothing but good things to say. So let's talk about the housing up here in the north side of Kalispell. These apartments are at the very north end, almost halfway to Whitefish, and these are the Silverbrook apartments, and they've just been built in the last couple of years. And just because of the housing shortage up here, these have been a great addition, and they filled up very quickly, and they're still building more apartments in the area. But in this tour, we'll go through the Silverbrook actual subdivision, which is regular homes, that's just to the south of this apartment complex, and we'll take you through some other great subdivisions around the north side of Kalispell, tell you the home prices, and tell you what you can expect if you want to live up here. So currently on the north side of Kalispell, there are 63 houses for sale, and they range in price from $299,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 960 square foot townhome, all the way up to $3.2 million for a 5-bedroom, 5-bathroom, 2,900 square foot house that sits on 10 acres. As far as the homes that have sold in the past year on the north end of Kalispell, there's been 262 sales, and they ranged in price from the first one that was listed at $199,000. It was a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, 816 square foot house, and it went all the way up to $1.89 million listing. There was a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,000 square foot home that was on just under an acre. And as far as land sales up here on the north end of Kalispell, right now there's 41 lots that are available, and they range in price from $130,000 for just under a tenth of an acre, all the way up to $1.9 million for an 80-acre parcel. And as far as what is sold in the past year for land, there were 44 lots that sold, and they range in price from one that was listed for $130,000 that was just under a tenth of an acre, all the way up to one that was listed for $1.1 million that was 24 and a half acres. So as I said earlier, this part of Kalispell is definitely the fastest growing part of the whole valley, and they're building apartments up here. This is another new development. They're doing apartments and homes in this area, and they're kind of just heading north towards Whitefish. So all the open land that used to be in between Kalispell and Whitefish is kind of being built up, which is a little bit sad, but with the housing shortage, it definitely is needed. So if you're interested in any homes or land up in this part of Kalispell, let us know. I'd be happy to send you everything that's available. And if you'd like to hear more about the south end of Kalispell, don't miss the video that we're going to put out next week. And if you're watching this in the future, I will link it here at the end, but I'll do a full video on the south side of Kalispell as well.
Thank you for watching our video. Please call, text, or email for more information, and don't forget to watch our other videos about Montana.